Last night, Harry Styles stood on the Saturday Night Live stage, turned to a male cast member named Ben Marshall, and kissed him on the lips in front of millions of viewers. And then he looked straight into the camera and said,
"Now that's queerbaiting."
The internet immediately lost its mind. Fans were typing in all caps, trending worldwide within minutes.
Bro, did Harry Styles just come out of the closet? This is a better coming out of the closet scene than Will from Stranger Things.
But here's the thing, this moment didn't come out of nowhere. This is the climax of a decade-long conversation about who Harry Styles actually is. And today, we're going through all of it. Quick context. Last time he hosted SNL back in 2019, he caught serious heat. Fans and critics called him out for showing up in a dress, waving pride flags on tour, and giving deliberately vague answers about his sexuality, all while never actually committing to anything. So this time around, he clearly decided to address it head-on and walked straight into the queerbaiting conversation himself before anyone else could. To be fair, for years, Harry Styles has given a masterclass in saying something without actually saying anything. It started early. Back in 2013, a GQ interviewer asked him about rumors he was dating his friend Nick Grimshaw and whether that meant he was bisexual. Styles responded, "Bisexual? Me? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'm not." But that answer didn't age the way he probably expected, because over the following decade, his answers got more and more deliberately vague. In 2019, when pressed by The Guardian on whether he was bisexual, he said, "It's not a case of, I'm not telling you because I don't want to tell you. It's not, oh, this is mine and it's not yours. It's, who cares?" Does that make sense? By 2022, he was calling the whole conversation outdated. He told Better Homes and Gardens, "I've been really open with it with my friends, but that's my personal experience. It's mine. It doesn't matter, and it's about not having to label everything, not having to clarify what boxes you're checking." And in that same Rolling Stone interview, when asked directly about queerbaiting, he said, "I've never talked about my life away from work publicly, and found that it's benefited me positively. There's always going to be a version of a narrative, and I think I just decided I wasn't going to spend the time trying to correct it." He also played a closeted gay man in the 2022 film My Policeman, and said about the role, "I think everyone, including myself, has your own journey with figuring out sexuality and getting more comfortable with it." And during a 2018 concert, after spotting a fan holding a sign reading, "I'm homosexual and I adore you," Harry told the crowd, "We're all a little gay, aren't we?"
"I'm gay. And I love you. I love you as well. Thank you for coming." I mean, we're all a little bit gay, aren't we?
So, never a label, never a confirmation, but never a denial either. At least not after 2013. The speculation around Harry Styles didn't start with his solo career. It started in One Direction. Since his time with One Direction, fans have speculated about his sexuality, some even writing fan fiction, imagining a relationship between him and fellow band member Louis Tomlinson. The Larry Stylinson fan theory was massive. It had millions of believers, dedicated blogs, and even affected both their real lives.
That's real crush.
Who?
Louis Tomlinson.
Louis Tomlinson. How does he feel about you?
Neutral, disgusting.
Yeah?
Then, when he went solo, the fashion choices became impossible to ignore. He appeared on the December 2020 cover of Vogue in a Gucci dress, becoming the first solo male to ever grace the cover of Vogue. He wore pearl necklaces, feather boas, flared trousers. He hired queer designer Harris Reed to dress him on tour. Critics pointed out that cross-dressing and gender fluidity have direct ties to LGBTQ+ history and community. So, whether intentional or not, his aesthetic constantly placed him in a queer-coded visual space. He also waved pride flags on stage at every tour stop, performed with LGBTQ+ artists, and vocally supported queer rights. Many fans saw him as the voice of queer youth, and for them, the question wasn't if he was queer, but why he wouldn't just say so. Now, here's the part that the queerbaiting crowd always points to. His public relationships have exclusively been with women. Harry's been linked to Taylor Swift in 2012 to 2013, Kendall Jenner on and off, and his most serious public relationship was with director Olivia Wilde. They dated for 2 years after meeting on the set of Don't Worry, Darling, before splitting in late 2022. After that, he was briefly linked to Taylor Russell. And now, his current girlfriend is actress Zoe Kravitz. They were first spotted together in London and Rome in August 2025, and their romance has grown into what sources describe as a cross-continental love story. Sources say Harry is intentionally going public with this one, that he's thought long and hard about it, and considers Zoe the real deal. She even cheered him on when he ran the Berlin Marathon, and his mother liked an Instagram post featuring Kravitz, widely read as a quiet seal of approval. So publicly, every relationship on record is with a woman, but to many fans, that doesn't close the door. It just makes the conversation more complicated. And this is where it gets thorny. Queerbaiting refers to someone benefiting from presenting themselves as queer without explicitly identifying as part of the LGBTQ+ community. And the argument against Harry Styles is pretty straightforward. He has built an empire off queer aesthetics, queer fans, and queer goodwill, while never actually claiming a queer identity himself. His concerts became safe spaces for queer expression. His fashion and messaging gave people language and permission to explore their own identities. And that's genuinely beautiful. But critics ask, did he earn that? Or did he borrow it? Some argue that by choosing gender-fluid fashion, he directly connected himself to a community whose history he drew from, whether or not he ever acknowledged it. On the other side of the debate, some argue that demanding Harry Styles publicly declare his sexuality is itself a form of gatekeeping, that people who want privacy in their fluid sexual lives shouldn't have to perform queerness for validation. And last night on SNL, Harry seemed to try to have it both ways, kissing a man, joking about queerbaiting, and winking at the audience. Was that finally being honest? Or was it the most sophisticated queerbait yet, using the accusation of queerbaiting as a punchline while still not saying anything real?